Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Christine, and last week we did an experiment with acrylic ink. It was so much fun, but as usual, it didn't go as planned. But I think I came up with a really great video this week, and I had so much fun doing it because it was totally creative and just kind of going with the flow. I ended up doing this, and I'll show you the whole process coming up. I hope you enjoy. Last week, I was playing with acrylic inks. I had these canvas boards and I gessoed one and not the other. I believe this was the gesso one, but either way, I didn't notice a difference. I did notice a difference with the second one because I put an even coat of water on the canvas before I started to paint. And when I dropped down the ink and put alcohol in it, it definitely made it spread further. So this is one of the two boards. And I said in the video, it gave me a Starry Night vibe. So this week I decided to go with that idea and do my own version of Starry Night. So you see here, I'm just marking out where I want the stars and the moon, the swirls in the sky, and where the mountains and the tiny town will go. I've taken a few art classes over the years, mainly in school, elementary through high school, and I've taken a few online courses. One of my favorite exercises was when you're given a piece of abstract artwork and asked to use your imagination to see what you can see. I've done that my whole life in different ways. When I was a mall rat in high school in the 80s, I used to sit at the fountain and imagine that that was the entrance to my home and imagine where each room in my house would be if the mall were given to me and I could recreate it and design anything that I want. I also love to look at wood and see what patterns I find in the grains. I think there's a name for that. I think that's why I love wood burning so much. I haven't done a video of wood burning yet, but I will. I'm using regular acrylic paint, but I wanted the orange to be brighter, so I decided to try and add a little acrylic ink to this yellow paint to see what would happen. And I really love how they mix together. It thinned out my paint a little bit, and it definitely brightened the colors. I mixed it off camera, and it's hard to tell here, but it did brighten things up. And I decided to add a drop of that orange into the orange acrylic paint as well. And I think I'm going to be using these acrylic inks a lot because I love bright colors. So you see I'm speeding up the process here because there's not really much tutorial to this. Anyone can do this, whatever your skill. This is not something that I would normally do if I were creating a painting to sell, although I'll show you what I do with this at the very end. But whether you're an artist or an aspiring artist or just someone trying to escape the world around you, I think it's important to use your imagination and see where it takes you. It's a good way to practice using your imagination, and it gets better over time, but it also gives you the opportunity to try new products and new ways of using those products. I've learned so much by just not worrying about what's going to come out in the end and just play in the moment. I've already learned a lot with this one. I had a terrible time with the houses, and in the end I think they came out pretty well. And if I were to put them in a painting that I create with the intention to sell, I would definitely start out and do them differently from the beginning. I also learned that you can mix the acrylic ink with acrylic paint to boost the color. I love that, and I'll definitely be using that in the future. I'm more of a beachy girl. I love the ocean, I love the beach, but I learned with this painting that I really enjoy painting mountain ranges. So I'm thinking I'll dig out some of my photos from my last Colorado trip that we took and try and paint something with mountains in the background. If I had thrown this canvas board away after my acrylic ink experiment, I would have never discovered these things. And while this is not really my style, and you'll probably not see too many more like this again, I'll carry some of the things that I've learned into my other paintings. I'd also like to mention, for me at least, putting my mind into something that's completely creative and just going with it really reduces stress. I have a lot of people living in my house, my daughter, my granddaughter, 2 dogs, my husband. It's quite chaotic. So to close the door and turn on some music and just be creative is such a relief. Don't get me wrong, I love having my family close to me, but sometimes my brain just needs a break. This is also a great project to do with the grandkids. My grandkids are still too young to do much more than just splatter paint on the canvas, although my older one, Carson, is doing really well with his drawing. And my youngest one is just learning that she can draw things like hearts and stick people, which is really fun to watch. I have to mention the middle grandchild as well, Kylie, and I think she's going to be more of a storyteller. We shall see. But there's one project that I did with Carson a few years ago. It was just one of these canvas boards, and he just painted all over it. And then I took it, and together we looked at it and discussed what we could see in his painting, and I painted over it to create a new painting. I'll see if I can find it and post it here on this channel. So here it is. I think it's done. I love the little church in the middle and the mountains. So I may or may not frame this, but I feel like there is a place for it. I think it would be cute as a greeting card or on a tote bag. So let me take you to Redbubble and the world of print on demand. If you don't know what print on demand is, you're in for a treat. It's a website where you just upload your designs and you can decide which items you put them on and create a profile, and you can either just do it privately for yourself or you can open it up for other people to purchase the items that you create. It doesn't cost anything, and every time someone orders something that you've created, you make a commission. This is my Redbubble site, and if you're interested in finding out how to do this for yourself, let me know in the comments, and I'll create a video showing how I do this. So how fun was that? I totally enjoyed it, and like I said, it's not what I would normally do, but sometimes I just like going with the flow and creating whatever happens, and I'm really happy with this. It's not a painting that I spent hours and hours and days and put in an oil layer over, which I usually do, but it was just fun and creative, and like I said in the video, I learned a lot. I mentioned my Redbubble shop, so if you're interested in checking that out, I'll drop the link in the description below. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspires you to go and create something abstract and then see what you can see in it and go with the flow and see what happens. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great week.